to 50. Hillside, She's Majestic. The Chook, She's a Sailor. San Antonio Rose and Interview. Scoring up nicely. And a fairly even dispatch. And again, we can see San Antonio Rose heading to the front. Looks like the Chook is going to try and slot in behind. It looks like too that Hillside is going to let it do so. Out wider on the track is Interview, looking for a place to slot in. She's a Sailor heading up into the death. And last on the pegs is She's Majestic. They're all come away cleanly and all showing clean set of heels at this point too. And San Antonio Rose out in front ahead of the Chook. Back down on the pegs is Hillside. Out in the death and doing a bit of hard work out there is She's a Sailor. Ahead of She's Majestic, who's pulling quite fiercely. And last of all is a French bred Interview. Got just under a mile left to go and San Antonio Rose is still out in front, ahead of the Chook. In third place is Hillside. Fourth now, settling a little bit better, is She's Majestic. Getting restrained back now is She's a Sailor. Still in the running line though. And gone back down to the pegs is Interview. Now, San Antonio Rose is doing similar to what her stablemate did in the previous and is looking to pinch a little bit of a break as they come down to the bell. And she's travelling quite nicely, San Antonio Rose, ahead of the Chook. Hillside. She's Majestic, just getting a little bit fierce again. Interview back on the pegs and still out in the running line is She's a Sailor. Now, She's Majestic has taken off ahead of She's a Sailor and is moving up now into the death and looks to see if they can catch San Antonio Rose napping, and they've clapped the speed on now. The Chook's still three back behind the leader, Hillside three back on the pegs as She's a Sailor looks to take the lead ahead of San Antonio Rose. Back in third is Hillside as it now comes off into the running line. The Chook, now comes off into the running line. Hillside tracks it up ahead of Interview, and they've dropped off She's a Sailor. Out in front, looking to just get a bit pitter-pattery as they're looking for the line now. They've looked like they've gone quite hard in that middle section, and coming down the outside now is Hillside ahead of She's Majestic, and Interview's coming right down the outside. And it looks like it's going to be Interview's race. He's a little bit green. He's having a little bit of a look at the winning post, but Interview wins quite nicely ahead of Hillside. I think maybe San Antonio Rose found a second win to grab at third ahead of the Chook. She's Majestic got a little bit of a stitch after pulling quite hard, and She's a Sailor is coming across the line now.